Transplants give people second chances. They are miracles, miracles that only happen through donation. We spoke with several people who have had life-changing experiences through giving and receiving. Tonight, we start with Felicia, a mother who brings her first baby home. What is supposed to be a joyous time turns to tragedy when Audrey suddenly stops breathing.
At 3 days old, she stopped breathing in my arms. They revived her heart, but her brain was completely dead from oxygen deprivation.
Donate Life Nevada explained to Felicia that Audrey could save lives through donation. When talking with Felicia, I learned that as soon as she knew her daughter could help someone else, she didn't have to think about it very long.
When she was admitted to the hospital, I was full of hope, but deep down inside, I knew there was nothing they could do. But I just knew something great was to happen. I didn't know at all what was going to happen, but she got to donate her heart to another baby who just turned 2 in April. And her 2 kidneys went to a 38-year-old woman who lives in California. So she did something amazing, and they're still alive today because of it.
And I know that nothing can ever take away your loss, but how does it make you feel to know that your child saved 2 people?
That's the only thing that really keeps me going.
So it sounds like donating your daughter's organs has given you some peace, actually.
Definitely, because there was no medical reason of why she stopped breathing in my arms. They didn't have any explanation whatsoever. So that is my why. When things happen to you that are bad and that you don't know why, and you're just wondering and confused and hurt and upset and mad and angry and all those negative emotions, this is my why. She was born to save, and I just know that that's just why she was born, and I couldn't be any more prouder of her.
Felicia has found peace through donation, and she has also been blessed with another happy, healthy child.
Her name is Olivia. She just turned 8 months, and she's crawling and talking and smiling, and she knows who her big sister is. She looks at her picture all the time that's by her crib and just smiles and stares at it.
Paul was in the midst of a successful career, rising in the ranks to captain at the fire department. He woke up one morning to realize something was seriously wrong with his eyes.
The cornea had thinned out in the front of the eye and the back of the eye, and the tissue just thinned out, and the cornea actually ruptured. So they said the only way to fix that was to drop the pressure and replace the cornea. They eventually got me on a donor list. I was on duty one day, and they said, don't plan on staying on duty. You're going to be coming in 5 o'clock in the morning, and we have a donor. So they were able to replace that. And at that time, they found that the left eye was going at the same time. So went back on a donor list, and another year went by. So over a period of 4 years, they replaced both of the corneas, and thank goodness somebody donated. So I was able to then see.
So if it wouldn't have been for the donation, you would have been blind in both eyes?
Yes.
So how does it make you feel that somebody gave you back your sight?
Incredibly grateful. I have a fairly active lifestyle. I love to ski, I like to fly fish, I do a lot of things that require my sight. And so with having had the transplant, and then what's really astounding is that they were able to actually give me a corrected 20/20 vision. So my vision actually ended up better at the end of it than it was before.
That's amazing. So I have to ask you, are you an organ donor?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and hopefully they can use all the other parts and use those again.
Heidi, a mother, was rushed to the hospital while having a miscarriage. She was given a blood transfusion, and unfortunately, the blood was not good. She was taken to Stanford, where she would learn that she had contracted hepatitis C from the transfusion. The hepatitis C caused Heidi to need a liver transplant.
And in 1995, I was on the list, and I had to wait 10 years for a liver that would match me.
10 years is a long time.
And that was a very, very long time.
So during the course of the 10 years, like what is going through your mind? Because you don't know if you're going to get a donor or not.
No, and that is one of the biggest problems, because I had 5 children, and you are sick waiting, and you never know if it will come in time or not. So many people die waiting for a transplant, and I didn't know if that would happen to me or not. On December 2005, on Christmas Day, We had a big dinner. I went to bed, and 11 o'clock at night, my daughter answered the phone. It was the hospital telling me that they had a liver for me and to get there immediately.
Donations and transplants don't change one person's life, but rather families, friends, and communities are changed forever.
I have 6 children, and they all have now gotten married, and I've been able to see my grandchildren. So it was a very special time, and I'm so thankful.
I missed out on her first words, her steps, everything her first, but just to know that that other family gets to enjoy that with that little girl, and the big, huge Filipino family that gets to enjoy Heidi because of her kidney transplant just brings me the most joy that I can ever dream of.
Donate Life Nevada bridges the gap between organ and tissue donors and the transplants that save and improve people's lives. After hearing the stories from Felicia, Paul, and Heidi, I had a lot of questions. Now, when we spoke with Heidi, she told us that she waited 10 years for a liver transplant. Why does somebody have to wait 10 years?
There just are not enough organ donors across the country. There's more than 118,000 people nationally that are waiting today for organs. Every day, 18 people die waiting. Heidi was a lucky one. We need more donors every day to register so that there are organs for those in need.
Now, there's different types of donors too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's organ donors, there's tissue donors, some people donate both. Can you explain for us a little bit about how that works?
Organ donation are solid organs: heart, lung, kidneys, liver, pancreas. Those are really life-saving. There's nothing that can take the place of a heart. You need a human heart. Tissue, on the other hand, is really life-enhancing, and that is Paul's story. He would be living as a totally blind person at this point, but he has sight because of the corneas. So while his life could have gone on, it would have been totally different without the tissue.
So when you decide to become a donor, do you get to decide what you want to donate?
You can. On the registration, there is a box that says limitations. And some people have issues, beliefs. So what they do is they can just say, you can have everything, no tissue, or not my eyes, or not my heart. So we do give people that latitude so that it's not an all or nothing promise.
The gift of life. Wow, the thought of that is almost overwhelming. Over 600 Nevadans need a chance at life. If you want to learn more about being an organ donor, or if you want to register to be an organ donor, go to donatelifenevada.org, or you can register at the DMV.